Boom! Hello everybody, Kenneth Apthorpe here with another episode of Modding Fireworks Mania for Dummies. This is episode 4, Cause and Effect. Yeah, it's going to be one of those videos where you have to know what the cause is. Sorry. This is, alright, start from episode 4. This is episode 4. And it is about condition. It's about condition and effect. We're going to be learning about these two things and bringing them together and creating something wonderful. This is actually helpful for things about Fireworks Mania in general. So let's get right into the tutorial. Now, to learn about cause and effects, what I want you to do is select the tube that you just created in episode 3. I want you to double tap it, double click it. And you'll notice in the hierarchy, just bring that up all the way. You will see some effects, some burst effects, some explosion flash, some explosions. You don't even know where to start, right? Well, here's where you start. This is where the cause and effect actually starts. You see this first tube, right? If you put this little arrow, you will see nothing. That's intentional. You can push it again to bring it back. But this is called the root. This is where everything comes in. It's also what your prefab is, and that's what is in your prefab, all of this stuff. So let's go through the list one by one and see what each one of them does. So first we have the model number, which is also a root. But we called this actually a parent. And anything that's inside the parent is called a child. So, anything that's referencing it is called a child. So we have the preload tube, which is actually the model thing, which actually is very helpful. Now, this may not be helpful for you now, but once you get to do your effects, you will see that this is very helpful. Alright, so I want you to go to your effects right now, and you see all of this, right? Look under sub-emitters. Now you see all these things, these are effects that happen after a certain thing happens. For example, at the birth of this effect, which is following the fuse prefab, I will get that into another video. Following the fuse, it comes out of launch muzzle prefab, which is this thing right there. You can literally click on it and it will show you what it's referencing. And it's literally a child of effect. This is the cause. The birth of this is the effect of, yes. So you see, everything has a cause and effect. Now, if you have this dying, this will appear, the explosion flash. What is the explosion flash? Well, let's bring in this all the way. Let's go ahead and widen this horizon. Let's go ahead and restart. The explosion happens after it comes in. And the explosion flash is basically the little flash of light that you see before it explodes. And then you get to see the effect within this thing, which is the death of just explosion, which is more particles. So following these two steps, you can decipher that this effect has one thing happening, and then after it dies, it will do the explosion. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, using the cause and effect system, let's go ahead and make the big boom that we wanted to make earlier. So starting with our duration, we don't need to change that. You don't need to change that. Lifetime is what you need to change. So in order to get a big, you want the effect to last longer, you can make this 2 or 1. You can make these go faster too, depending on your limit velocity of lifetime. We will get to that in another video. Start size. We can make the effect larger or smaller. Start rotation. You can literally put it in any point of the compass around 0 out of 360 using this random between two constants instead of just constants using this arrow key. The start rotation also the same. Oh, we just did that. Sorry. Flip rotation, you don't need to change that. Start color. I always start on white for a reason, and I will get to that in the next video. Gravity modifier. It handles gravity, actually. So, I usually put 0.3 because you want the realism of it, the shell going pew and then falling naturally. You don't want it to go pew into space and never come back. That's not very realistic. But if you want it to happen that way, you can leave it to 0. Max particles. Now, this is a limiter. This is a max particle limiter. If you don't want more than 1,000 particles in one space at one time, you hit 1,000 here, and that's what you do. Always have auto random seed, because if you don't have auto random seed, it will be the same explosion over and over and over again. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Emission. The things that come out from the tube. You always want one count coming out of one tube one time, which means cycles. So you can really have 30 count coming out of a tube or 30 cycles. What does each one mean? 30 is the amount that comes out at one time. Cycles is the how many it does. So, for instance, if you have 30 count 30 times, which it will have 30 counts for each of those cycles 30 times over. So that would be 30 times 30. Somebody do the math. You did the math correct. That is the correct answer. Rate over time. Good for sparklers. We'll get to that in another episode. Shape. It defines where it's coming from. I always do a radius of 0, which is actually more accurate, and it comes out to an angle of 3, which is why it's so short sometimes. Always start your effect right here. You can remember about this little thing you can move. You can no, you probably don't know about that. All right, so if you use this little arrow key, you can put it just above the mesh collider, which I will also get into another video. Yeah, that's what shape does. And you can also just you can always test each one of this as you go along, just for trial and error purposes. Limit velocity over lifetime. Now this one is a pain to get through because if it goes too fast, it's going to immediately dampen. So what I do to fix this, I put in 5 through 7, not T5. That's a different brand. Dampen is okay. Drag is okay, and it should be fine. I think you can shoot 1,000 after that now. Force over lifetime is another alternative for gravity, in case you want to have gravity. Color over lifetime. This is important. Now guys, if you guys want like a realistic firework, let me suggest that you have one of these templates. And in order to create one of these templates, you have you can just select new on the gradient editor. And then at 12, sorry, that should be 13. At 13%, it starts the color and then it fades out after 83.8%. And I found this actually to be very appealing to me. And by the way, not all the colors should be direct red. It should be a special kind of red. It could be any one of these. You can make swatches by selecting this new button and with the right mouse key. And then you can also delete it or replace it depending on how you're feeling. You can select either one of these. You know what? I like the color orange. Let's go ahead and go with orange. Hit save that. And now you're done with color over lifetime. You can select and collapse this to go in and out. Size by speed. Sorry, size over lifetime. Actually helps you to make little twinkles in the sky. Let me show you how you do that. Quickly make one of these. Darn it. We're gonna skip that. tell you what, chat, we're gonna skip that. We're gonna save that for another time when I'm not having problems. Sub-emitters, I already told you about that. Lights adds light sources, so it makes it a little bright. Trails adds little things, although sometimes trails are nonsensical, so I always turn that off. Renderer is always FX mesh for some reason. I always use billboard. Reason behind this is if you use mesh, it's gonna have like this little line in it, and I've had problems like that. Well, not problems. I intentionally did one cake with this mesh thing to make it look a little weird, like a little lens flare. That was special. You should never do that in real life if you want to make real life cakes. And now we've come to the last thing: particle system sound and particle system observer. These coexist together. And from these two, you can make your own new sound effect things. You can select one of these and select whichever one you want. Can I preview these sounds? Unfortunately, no, not at the moment. But I think Mania is working on a thing for that update. Now that you know about cause and effects and what everything works, experiment a little. Make big booms. Use start speed. Use lifetimes. Show me your creations show me your creations. Comment them below in like zip files or something. And yeah, that's gonna be it for next week. Next week I'm gonna show you what I did with my first tube and how to put it. And you already know about putting it in. Yeah, make videos about it. I'm always watching Fireworks Mania, so I'll be watching. So, but I will see you next time. And learning about new. What are we gonna learn about next time? Oh yeah, we're gonna. I don't know at this point. I'm sorry. I skipped something, chat. What did I skip? I know I skipped something. Darn it, that's gonna bother me, isn't it? Sheesh. Oh, these trail effects will not always make you see it. Alright, so you know about the cause and effect, right? Now, using that cause and effect, I want you to attempt to get rid of these trail effects. These ones right here. Try to find them, get rid of them, and get back to me once you solve that. That is going to be your assignment this week. And next week, I'm going to tell you about how to get multiple explosions and the different kinds of explosions. But that's next time. But until then, I bid you and your household peace. Class is dismissed. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.